on the curriculum framework for higher education in NEP 2020. So, well, friends, we have already discussed in this STC program about the curriculum design, implementation, structuring, and then evaluation and assessment. But lately, you all must be knowing about that we have new education policy, that is our National Education Policy NEP 2020. So that is a major uh, that policy is going to bring a major sea change in the entire educational system. So it is very important to understand and to get the knowledge of what the NEP 2020 is suggesting and how our curriculum has to be restructured uh, in light of NEP 2020. Friends, we'll be talking about the curriculum restructuring in consonance with NEP 2020. I hope most of you must be knowing about NEP 2020. At least you might have heard. Okay. So some of you have good idea and some of you might be having just the notional idea about NEP 2020. So I won't go to the details of NEP 2020 overall because that is a huge task, but I'll try to cover the aspect of the curriculum restructuring in light with the NEP 2020, right? So now, if I talk about the education system, I say that even after the 75 years of independence, we are still in the movement of changing our educational framework, right? I agree that education has to be always in a flux mode because education or educational system has to be in such a way that it has to cater to the global scenario also, what is happening globally, what is the requirement of society, how the technology is changing, what is the requirement of the students, so because of this our education system always keeps on changing. Okay. And because education is never meant to be a static information, because it has to be a tool for the man making, for the life giving, and for the character building, right? So as it is rightly said by Swami Vivekanand ji that education can unlock all the doors for a progress. So that is why our education system should always be updated as per the requirement, as I said, as per the technology as advancement, as per the societal need, as per the global need. It has to change. But just to have an idea that where do we stand or where we were in the ancient times. So our education system was very rich education system as compared to the other educational system throughout the world. We had the multidisciplinary universities, not only the colleges or institutes, but we had the universities like Nalanda, Takshila, Vikramshila, where all the uh, you know uh, Okay. Where all the domains, maybe mathematics, we all know about the decimal system, zero system, it was given by our scholars, Aryabhatta. Maybe medical sciences, the plastic surgery was done by our doctors, the homeopathy, Ayurveda, all the branches of medical sciences was through our great scholars. Dam building, watershed management by civil engineers, shipbuilding, navigation, when there was no compass and navigation tools were we had our Indian system had a method to for the navigation of the shipyards and everything. And obviously the yoga, fine arts, chess. So you think of any diverse field, and we had that field in the our universities, and we had great scholars like Aryabhatta, Bhaskaracharya, Chanakya, Maitri, Gargi, all were we had such a jewels in our education system. So with such a high with such a glorified education system, still because we had so many invasions by Mughals, Arabs, and not to forget about the Britishers, our roots of our education system were totally uprooted, because the intention of the Britishers or the other invaders were uproot the entire system of our country. And we all know, and there is a saying that if you want to change the society, if you want to uproot any system of the society, you just ignore or you just remove the education system from the society. And that is what the Britishers did, right? They totally uprooted our education system and our past education system also. So till our struggle or freedom fighters came to realize that what is actually being happened in in the educational front, uh, the loss was immaculate, right? So this is the slide of round table conference where Mahatma Gandhi, at the global front, he mentioned this, that the beautiful tree of education was cut down by you British, and today India is far more illiterate than it was 100 years ago. So they realized that what Britishers have done, they were doing some support system for education system, but actually they were just in the process of making dignified, babus, those who could just act a bridge between the policy makers of Britishers and our common masses of India. So they were just acting as the link. No knowledge was imparted, only the simple education was given. So if you see the what this is the scenario of our education system after the independence, and you can see what was the pathetic condition. There were only 17 universities and 600 colleges, only 5,000 secondary school in the entire country, 12,843 middle schools, and only 1,72,000 primary schools. So you see, we started with the bare level of the education system in our country. So then steps were taken. Education was first made as a state level. The uh, uh, in the our constitution, education was considered to be state subject. Then it was done for the center, and then finally it is a now right now it is a concurrent subject. That is, some part is the subject matter is related to the state, and some part is to the center. And very prominent amendment of Indian constitution was 86th amendment, where the right to education was made a fundamental right, and it is a fundamental right of any child of India to get educated till the age of 14, right? So this is the system. But now if I talk about the present system and what is the requirement at the global level, so the global level also, the education system is now moved ahead of the boundaries. It is no longer only related to the imparting the knowledge part or the skill part, but globally the outcomes expected from the student is that a student should have a some new set of skills. So skills may be, critical thinking, creativity, decision making. So you know that now our government also is so much putting efforts on the entrepreneurial activities or creativity or problem solving, cognitive flexibility, and not only the knowledge and skill part but the attitude part also, emotional intelligence, teamwork, the decision making and communication. All the aspects are taken care at the global scenario also. And just to give you a glimpse of where do we stand right now, no doubt it's a data of 5 years back, but not a very phenomenal change has been observed in this status. So if you see the comparison between the developed countries, the developing countries, and India in terms of how much research is done, how many patents are being filed, and how much percentage of GDP is being spent on research and uh, education. So India has a very, very low, you can see the figures where we can show that uh, we have not a very bright data or the bright information regarding the how much investment is being done on research and innovation. Okay. So as I said, after 75 years of independence, still struggling to come up with a foolproof education system. And but we cannot deny that we have come a long way after independence, and the education system which we are the products, and our forefathers or our 2 3 generations were the products, they have no doubt done a good job. But still we have certain challenges in our education system, and there are few challenges which I am focusing on is that presently our universities and institutions are totally domain specific, or they're very standalone. We as we have engineering college separate, we have law colleges, we have medical colleges, so very domain specific. And nowadays, because like if we see in engineering also, because computer science is selling hot like a hot potato, so most of the colleges have now left some of the courses, and they are totally into computer science branches, computer science with AI, computer science with management, computer science with data structure, so on and so on. So, and then we have the so very particular institutes, we are catering only to the one aspect of the studies. And then we have this affiliation system, as uh, in the last session also sir was talking about that what problems they face for the when they are affiliated to some universities, because they are bounded by their rules, they are bounded by their curriculum, they are bounded by their style of assessment and evaluation, right? So that is also a challenge right now, because no flexibility or no autonomy is given to the institutions. Forget about the autonomy to the teachers, to even to the institutions it is not given. And then we do not have multidisciplinary attitude, we are just very much focused on one particular domain. If you become like if I say that if you see right now, also sorry, very fragmented higher education system is there. If after class 10th you have to go for a selection, you choose arts, you choose science, you choose commerce, right? So then when you choose science, then you have to divert between, okay, medical or non-medical. Okay, medical non-medical bhi theek hai, now they are together, okay, you have a chance. But suppose then you choose engineering, so engineering again you have to select, okay, electronics engineering. So electronics, then for you do your bachelor's in electronics, you do your master's, you do PhD, you're teaching everything, then you move in that particular specific domain, right? There is no flexibility in movement between the domains, or to move or to learn or to get the knowledge related to the some other parallel sectors also, right? So this is, we call it as a fragmented higher educational ecosystem, which is not helping out for the holistic development of any student or child. Okay. And then another point is that very less emphasis is given on the uh, development of cognitive skills and learning outcomes that we have been talking about for so many days. So that is why we are going more towards the outcome based education. Okay. And then, as I said, very less emphasis on research. As I showed you the data, we will say that okay, so many PhDs, so many MTechs, BTech also we are doing some research, so many patents, but they are just adding to the shelves of your library or of your department. How much research is being converted into technology, that is a very very small number and very sorry figure is that. Okay, so these are some of the challenges which presently the present education, especially higher education system, is facing. Anyway, so the NEP, because these challenges were felt and the global scenario was seen, and the last education policy, yeah, Madam Satya, Miss Satya has written 1986. So now if you see 1986 and 2020, how many years? After 34 years, the next policy has come into picture. And now if you just go through a flashback in this gap of 34 years, how the technology has changed. Forget about education. How the technology has changed. Your computers have percolated in the system so in depth, mobile system, mobile communication, satellites. The technology has changed so much in 34 years. So why should not our education system change? और फिर कोविड ने और भी कर दिया, जस्ट एज जैसे ही एनईपी 2020 2019 द ड्राफ्ट policy came into picture. So just after this 2020 was, we all know about the COVID. So COVID again brought a sea change, the online education systems, the then the use and the importance of these education tools. Maybe it may be a mobile or a computer or other softwares. So that changed the entire education system once again. So now it was felt that the NEP 2020 has to cater to overall system, not only curriculum, not only use of technology, not only the fragmentation of the education system, but it has to take care of the optimal learning environment also. It has to take care of holistic education. It has to take care of regulatory system, effective governance. जो ये affiliation है, private colleges हैं, they all have to go. So overall educational ecosystem will change because of this NEP 2020, right? And especially the higher education system, because you may agree that okay, the secondary education or the higher secondary education and the primary education are the foundation stones of our education system, but the economy, the growth, everything depends on mostly the higher education system. So NEP 2020 aims at re-energizing the higher education system, and the five pillars for the implementation is the it comprises the affordability, that is education should be affordable, it should be accessible, and that is why we are so much talking about inclusion. So accessible to each and every one, whether a student is living in a metro area or a student is living in a tribal area. The quality of the education should be same for everyone, and it should be equity. Inclusion should be there. It should be every child, every student should have equal advantage, equal, you know, everything should be available to him at the same level, and it should be accountable also, maybe in terms of the administration or even accountability by the teachers, by the staff, by the even stakeholder. So these are the main five pillars of NEP 2020. So too much said about what NEP 2020, why the it is very important of 2020 NEP 20. But right now I'll talk about the restructuring of curriculum. That is one major part, because as I said, when we talk about education, we have what to teach, that is curriculum, how to teach, that is your pedagogy, right? And how to assess, that is your how to take cater to the holistic development, how to cater to the multidisciplinary, everything comes. Okay, so I will focus upon the curriculum design, that how the curriculum is going to change with the NEP 2020. So three major parameters, or I would say the three major aspects which will bring major changes in the curriculum. and that is flexibility, providing the flexibility to the students. I'll tell you how. Multiple entry and exit, multiple exit, we call that MEME system, and ABC, that is academic bank of credits. So the NEP primarily offers the flexibility for, or it offers choice, chance, and change. So three C's it offers. And when we are saying the flexibility, flexibility is not only by choosing the subject, but by choosing what the student wants to learn. And not only, अभी भी हम कहेंगे what students want to learn, the student is choosing it. But the student can have the flexibility from one discipline to other. Does the student have it right now? कि मैं अभी फर्स्ट ईयर में मैं अगर कंप्यूटर साइंस पढ़ रही हूँ और मुझे लग रहा है कि इट्स नॉट माय कप ऑफ टी, आई एम नॉट वेरी कंफर्टेबल, कैन आई शिफ्ट टू इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स? Right now there is no such flexibility, but NEP will provide such flexibility. If I am studying right now, say in GL Bajaj Institute, and my father gets transferred to South, can I get admission into, say, Christ College? Right now, no. You can get admission, but your previous study and previous knowledge will go waste. You have to start afresh. But by NEP we have that flexibility also. I am reading in of going to the class and having offline mode, but do I have the flexibility of choosing any subject through online mode? Right now, no. But NEP provides this flexibility. So flexibility of what to learn, how to learn, from where to learn, and when to learn, and the most thing is at which pace to learn. This all type of flexibility will be provided by the NEP to the students. So that is why first and the foremost thing is revamping of the curriculum. So we need to, as we are discussing since 5 days, knowledge, skill, and attitudes. So we have to come up with the curriculum which is not only domain specific, but which covers the multidisciplinary subjects and value based education also. If we have an educated student with a 9 CGPA, 90% marks, but he does not have any ethics values, or he does not conduct the a good citizen values, or he does not have the idea about the constitutional and fundamental rights and duties, his education is of no use, right? So that is why now the education is moving in the direction of catering to entire holistic development of the student. A student who is educated, who has the knowledge, who has the skill, who has the attitude, and who has the values also, right? So this is how the curriculum has to be shifted, and more flexibility by giving more power to the students to choose their own, or to, I would say, to create their own bouquet of knowledge, what they want to study, right? They want to study along with the, say, computer science, they want to study music. Along with electronics, they want to study, say, fashion. So there should be no limitation, there should be no constraint to or for the students to choose their own subjects of learning. Okay, so there will be no so first and the foremost thing which is to be changed is the there will be no changes, no boundaries between the curriculum, between the curricula, extra curriculum, or the co-curriculum.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yeah, good morning. Yes, sir.
Ma'am, the extra curriculum means other than the study means it is just like hobby, we can say, ma'am. Means
Okay, और कुछ?
जो एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलम है वो अपने मींस कोर्स स्ट्रक्चर में नहीं है, मैम.
हाँ, जो हमारा, क्योंकि अभी हमारा जो या एंड यस 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 सर.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ma'am, basically the difference is the activity which are not directly related to the academics is the extracurricular, and those are related to the academic part or the curriculum part. It is under the category of the co-curricular.
Yeah, so if you see, means we have our mindset that some type of subjects, they form the curriculum part, which is related to our core subjects, which is related to, or that is, which are countable in effect, कि जिसके basis पे we are going to get degree, that we are calling curriculum. And the other subjects or the other activities, that may be music, that may be law, that may be dance, that may be painting, that may be, yeah, yeah, just Sumati is also saying that apart from curriculum. So it means there is a very much clear distinction between something is curriculum, something is extra, and something is co-curriculum, which is aligned with the curriculum, but it is a separate thing. It is not marked. Anybody who wants to get indulged in extracurriculum and co-curriculum, his activities, his achievements are not counted as the part of curriculum, right? We are, yeah, activities that supplement the formal education, exactly. So what I want to say is, the something which we are doing in the extracurriculum and co-curriculum, that is not counted as the part of our education or our system, that is, or not the part of our, I would say, degree. I get a degree because I have studied 4 years, 8 semesters, 40 subjects, 20 labs, itne practicals. There is no count that I have done a, I was involved in NCC. I was part of a, say, yoga. I pursued one uh, music class, or I did one course in the, say, architecture, or I did one course in the fashion. Nothing, because there are very clear cut boundaries which are defined. And not only curriculum, extracurriculum, another defined is arts, humanities, science. You are from science background, you are from humanities, you are arts. If I am from science, computer science, I want to study, say, psychology, I cannot, because our curriculum is defined, which is very domain specific and stringent silos. So there is a clear cut boundaries. There is a clear cut boundary between academic and vocational. If after class 10th or 12th you want to go for vocational, leave academics, go directly to vocational. And if you want to go for BTech and this one, nothing vocational, right? But now NEP will suggest, or there will be the curriculum in which there will be no such boundaries. If a student of computer science is ready to read one subject of, say, history, he has that choice. If a student of mathematics wants to study computer programming, he can do. A student of geography wants to study about architecture, he can. A student opting for computer science and taking one subject in the, say, Tamil music, that credits will be the part of his transcriptancy, right? So such type of curriculum has to be designed, is being designed, where all these boundaries will be removed, and the student will have so much vast exposure to each and every field, each and every domain, and he will have full flexibility to study what he wants to study, what his passion. Along with the studies, he can go for his passion also. Okay? It's a tough job, I agree, but it is going to be there. Yes, Dr. Ganga. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am. Ma'am, my question is, when we are offering so many diversified things to the students, but if the student is taking admission in one area of study, for example, I am taking admission in computer science, but I have the flexibility to choose subjects from other streams, which will contribute to my credits.
Yeah.
So, do we have to maintain a minimum credits
Yes. Yes,
for
ma'am.
which
Yes,
I will be a student of computer science?
exactly. Yes, ma'am. Like, the flexibility is provided, but with certain constraints. If you are going to get a BTech in computer science, and let us say it is 120 credits, So there will be very clear cut instructions that 60% of the credits are to be earned from the computer science. If you want to go for some other subjects, you can go for 20%, right? Offline and online also. Like now UGC, it used to say that 20% of the credits can be earned by the student through online. Up to 40% bhi kar diya. So everywhere, wherever there is a flexibility, there is a some stringent rules also. ये नहीं होगा कि you are getting a degree of computer science और आप history भी पढ़ रहे हो, डांस भी पढ़ रहे हो, म्यूजिक पढ़ रहे हो, ज्योग्राफी पढ़ रहे हो और कंप्यूटर साइंस नहीं पढ़ रहे हो. बेयर मिनिमम उतना सब्जेक्ट आपको पढ़ना ही पड़ेगा. ठीक है.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So another concept is of major and minor. Right now we give degree in BTech with some specialization had already started, but now the concept of major and minor, that along with one major, if I'm doing a say major in electronics and I have more interest in computer science or the jobs are more of computer, I can get a minor degree in computer science also. Again, the credits are somehow they are managed. That if you want to go for I have that, I think, yeah. So if you want to have one major, so 50% of those credits has to be in that stream, and minor around 12% or 12 credits are to be there. And similarly, you can go for two majors also, major in electronics with major in computers. So 50% of credits in one major and 40% in other credits. So proper policy is defined already where the subject combinations can be chosen for going double major or major and minor. And it's not only education, major in computer science. Abhi I am in BS of Thapar, so there we have designed major in computer science, minor in psychology. Major in computer science, minor in, you can go for say major in civil, you can go for minor in architecture. Major in civil, you can go for interior design. So any subject combination you can take, but you have to follow the how many percentage of credits have to be followed. Okay. Next comes the how to learn, and we have already discussed that the online and digital education can be the part of your conventional mode of education also. But again, as I, because UGC has already, it has already said that the any education which can be taken through open or distance mode will be recognized on the same lines. It will be treated as equivalent, which is the qualification awarded through the conventional mode. So you can have dual, like 40% through the online and 60% through the offline, or you can have a dual degree also, but of if you are having one offline degree, the other degree you can get is online only, because you cannot be present at two places, so one offline and one online, but at the same times. Earlier there was such facility was not available, but now through NEP you can get two degrees simultaneously. Okay. So this is so but when you are taking going for the higher online degrees like UGC, again the constraint is that it cannot be done from wherever you want. The institute or the university from which you are going taking the online, that has to be well reputed, or there should be an IRF ranking of top 100 universities, or if you're going for foreign universities, then also your quality standards of the world ranking has to be maintained. Okay. Next comes where to learn, the flexibility of choosing the institute. As I mentioned, there can be now movement, not horizontal movement within the institutes. Any student getting a subject, choosing a college, can choose another college also, but not semester wise or so, year wise he can choose. But again, there will be constraint that these many credits or these many semesters are to be covered in that particular institute. So flexibility, choose teacher also. Suppose now I am teaching here and you find okay, Meenakshi ma'am is not teaching, I'm not satisfied with her teaching, and the same subject is being floated in an online fashion, say in Bombay, then the student will have the flexibility to go for that subject enroll there, give the exam, and get the credits and get it into your kitty, right? So that choice will also be provided to the students. And another very important is given the choice to the students to learn by their own pace. If you are a fast learner, if the student is his cognitive capabilities are more, and we all have different cognitive capabilities, some students are very fast learners, some are slow learners. So if a fast learner thinks that he has only 5 subjects in one semester and he wants to he can learn much faster, he can go for another 1 or 2 subjects from the forthcoming semester, so that he can like uh, at least if when he comes in the 5th semester or 7th semester, when he has to prepare for his job or for higher studies, he get ample time to study for his job and this one. So fast learners can go for more number of courses. Similarly, the slow learners which are not able to justify or do justice to the all the 5 courses, he can drop some courses in a semester and uh, right, like a go for give focus on the say 3 or 4 subjects, and then consecutively he can go for the next subjects. So this type of flexibility will also be provided to the students, right? So basically the academic flexibility and academic mobility will be taken care by the NEP 2020. So you can see that your first year, if the student is doing, he has the full choice to exit, which I was talking about, the multiple entry. I'll come back to that figure, multiple entry and multiple exit. So now if a student has come for a 4-year BTech program or a 3-year diploma program, it is not mandatory for him to complete the entire duration of 4 years or 3 years. He has the full flexibility to leave after first year, and then if he want, he has full flexibility to leave after second year and after third year. अभी भी हम कहेंगे कि he can leave, but NEP says that if leaving after first year, he wants to resume his studies back, he need not to do the first year again, but he can rejoin or resume at the next level, that is in the beginning of second year. So the entire time, resources, knowledge which he has spent during the 1 year of his study, that will not go waste, and he can continue with his study in the second year also. Similarly, after second year, if he wants to come back, he can go for third year. And it's not only that he goes and he sits idle, he will get a certificate after completing 1 year, which will make him employable. He can get a job, he can do some work based on a certificate which will be given. Similarly, after second year, he will get a diploma, and after third year, obviously, he will get a bachelor's degree. So this multiple entry exit system, and if he wants to do together, then there is flexibility of, like, if it is a 3 years UG program or a technical 4 year UG program, he can go for 5 year integrated also. If he has done 4 years, the PG can be of 1 year. If he has done a UG of 3 years, PG will be of 2 years. So such type of flexibility in choice is also given. So this diagram give you the crux of the academic flexibility provided to the students. That is, even after first year, student will have the flexibility to exit, and he can come back to the second year from the same college or even from the different college. Similarly, after second year also he can exit, resume at the same college. After third year also, and so on. And he has that choice of online, offline studies, multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, or pace of studies. So moving further, if such type of flexibility is given to the students that after 1 year certificate, but yes, then again, as I was mentioning, very clear cut rules are there that if anyone wants to leave after first year, it is mandatory to get minimum of 40 credits, where he has to have 4 core subjects to 1 core vocational course of 4 credits and other subject. Similarly, if he wants to go for diploma, he has to have 80 credits and one vocational course and so on. Okay. Similarly for 3 and 4. So when so much flexibility is given to the student, who will keep the track how the student is learning? Somebody is learning from somewhere, somebody is going for multiple entry exits, somebody is going for multidisciplinary subjects. So for that, a digital repository is already in place, which is called the academic bank of credits. So each and every student would have to register himself, that is every institute will register the student in the academic bank of credits, and every student will have unique SOP number, and all the entire credits which he has accumulated will be registered in that depository, and the student can add into it, and also he can redeem if he wants to leave, right? Then he can, and suppose after the first year he has come, he's a smart learner and he has achieved 45 credits, and but to leave he requires only 40 credits, so he can redeem those 40 credits and go for a certificate course and move on. So the remaining 5 credits will be intact in his bank account, so that if he wants to resume back in second year, he will have those 5 credits and then further he can move. So such type of facility will be provided by this academic bank of credits. Proper monitoring is there, proper grievance redressal mechanism is in place, so that no any student should not suffer because of this ABC credits. Okay. So again, the mobility is after 10th 12th the student can enter. If, and now lately if you might have seen, AICT also said that it is not mandatory for a diploma or a student to go for diploma or for engineering. It is not mandatory to have physics or chemistry maths background. So it was not that it is not required, it is that if somebody is not having, they can go for some bridge courses, get tuned to those subjects, and then enter into the technical subjects. So he can go for certificate, diploma, or UG. He can go for blended mode, skills, holistic development. Okay. So for after certificate, after 12 months, 40 or 46 credits, some internship, and he has the choice for exiting. And not only exiting, but he has those employment opportunities. And his credits will be stored. They can be redeemed, move further, diploma, and similarly for the degree program. And one more thing is to bring the uniformity. Right now, somebody is doing 3 years UG, BA, BSc. Somebody is doing 4-year BTech. Some are going for ITI. Somebody is going diploma after class 10. Somebody for class 12. So there is so much of fragmentation, and there is so much of variation. So to bring the uniformity in the courses, it is now our national credit framework has been defined, where it shows, or where uniform setup is done at every level. Okay, at every level now, after, if a student is going for say first year 3-year UG program or 4-year UG program, then uh, the student knows that how much I have to, what is the input. So after 10th, if he has done a 3-year NTC or NSE, or he has NSQF level 4.5, he can enter UG program. After 12th, putting 2 years, or after 10th, putting 4 years, he can go for directly for the second, right? So similarly, this is the meta framework which has been designed by UGC to bring uniformity at each and every level, whether it is vocational, whether it is degree, arts, science, BTech, any board, open, right? Any school, any board or open university, IGNU, wherever the student wants to, he can move on. And then to bring uniformity, because when we are saying that the students can move from one course to other, one college to other. So some uniformity in courses should be there. So instead of now writing the subject names, we have come up with the like naming or terminology used for the courses is like core courses, discipline specific core courses. So some courses, whether you are from computer engineering, electronics, the core courses of that domain are to be learned by the student. Some skill enhancement courses, value addition, it may be constitutional, human values, Indian knowledge system, all those type of courses the student has to do. Summer internship, research project. So now a bucket of subjects will be there in these buckets, and where the student can decide what I want to study. And if he wants to move from one college to other, from one discipline to other, if he has done the subjects as per these buckets, he can map his credits and courses into the with the other colleges. So this is already there, how many credits are required. Like for major, if you to do, you have to do 60 credits in that particular. Minor, 24 credits. Multidisciplinary, 9. Ability enhancement, 8. Skill, 9. Value added, 6 to 8. So now the subjects names are not there, but the category is there. So if a student wants to do 3-year UG program, he should have done 60 credits. अब वो चाहे सब्जेक्ट कम्युनिकेशन थ्योरी हो, चाहे कम्युनिकेशन सिस्टम हो, चाहे मोबाइल कम्युनिकेशन हो, चाहे VLSI है, चाहे DSP है. Are you getting my point? So if it has to do skill enhancement. Skill may be C programming, maybe Python, maybe MATLAB, maybe carpentry. Okay, maybe beauty, anything. But if it is under the ambit of skill enhancement courses, 9 credits, he can claim those credits. Okay, so core courses will be defined, elective courses will be there, you can choose, and skill enhancement and value addition courses will be there. So the entire curriculum has to be defined in such a way that it involves all these things: multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, vocational based. Okay, for then project after this one every year, and value added courses, communication courses, all these courses, like as I value add sports, health, wellness, environment science, all these courses can be done. So this is how the curriculum has to be restructured in case of the NEP. Yeah, last thing which I would just, then I will finish it off. The level of courses also. If it is a level number, that will be done by the numbering. If it is a 350, so it means it is a higher level course which is meant for, say, third year or final year student for the majoring in some discipline. If it is a 600, so it is for master's degree. If it is a 700, so now the nomenclature will also be a clear indicator to show that what is the hardness level and what is the difficulty level, or for which year this subject or this course pertain to. Okay, and this is the crux that, okay, in kitne interdisciplinary, kitne ability enhancement, kitne CV, how many total credits, and then you can get the research. With this, I will stop here. Yes, Dr. Ganga.
Ma'am, actually, I wanted to have, if you could again explain the difference between skill enhancement and ability enhancement courses.
मैम वो थोड़ा सा ही डिफरेंस है. स्किल एनहांसमेंट एंड एबिलिटी. स्किल एनहांसमेंट इज मोर रेलिवेंट टू योर जो साइकोमोटर डोमेन के, जिसमें आप लैब कर रहे हो, कोई काम कर रहे हो, उसको हम स्किल कह रहे हैं, जिससे आपको जॉब मिलेगी. एबिलिटी एनहांसमेंट विल बी मोर इनटू दी, जैसे योर अप स्किलिंग पार्ट, कि बच्चे को आपने सिर्फ एक न्यूरल नेटवर्क पढ़ाया, लेकिन उसको और वो कोर्स कर रहा है, उसके हायर जो उसके कोर्स में नहीं है, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, NLP, वो उसकी एबिलिटी एनहांसमेंट है. स्किल को जो हम जोड़ रहे हैं, दैट इज मोर इनटू द ability of the student, which can he earn a livelihood, or by which he is doing like some hands-on work.
Thank you, ma'am.
Curricular is mentioned in curriculum, extracurricular. Okay. Dr. Shubha Lakshma, minor course is over and above the credits for the course. No, ma'am. It is the part of the course. If you have 160 credits of a degree, then and a student wants to go for a major and minor, so 60%, 50% has to be from the major subjects, which should be available to the students for selecting the major. He should have that flexibility of choosing 50%, and remaining 40% for the minor, and 10% will be this human values, ethics, and